Hi, I'm Natalie, and I'm a digital nomad and an online business owner. And I'm here with Paulo, who is also in our business. He is one of the many successful digital entrepreneurs, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his journey. So, Paulo, thank you so much for taking the time today. And why don't you start us off with just giving us a little bit of background and telling us how you got started with this business?
Of course, Natalie, thank you for having me on here. Yeah, so my name is Paulo Perleas. I am originally from Calgary, but I live in Vancouver now. But as you can tell in the background, I'm not in Vancouver right now. I'm actually in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Yeah, so my career, like sort of my career when I started off before doing a business, my background's been in nursing. I've been a registered nurse for over 17 years and ended up working at BC Cancer, where I worked as, continued working as an oncology clinical trials nurse. Worked there for about 6 years, and then I experienced severe burnout. Ended up quitting, and then went and worked for a pharmaceutical company for a couple of years. I thought it was great in the beginning because I got to work from home and like I didn't have to go in the office, but they're making me work like my hours are about 10 to 16 hours a day, and I'd be traveling between British Columbia and Alberta. I do about 6 to 8 travels during a month. Plus, I'd have to, do all my reports and all that stuff. So it was just a lot of constant work that was tying into my personal time. And all the pressures from my sites, from corporate, I just couldn't deal with it anymore. And I ended up quitting after 2 years just because I was burning out again. And I went back to BC Cancer, working there for a couple years. January of this year, I became casual and worked, and I've just been working as a casual nurse and then focusing on my online business full time. This whole business has really allowed me more flexibility with my time and with my vacation time because as a nurse, because as I mentioned, I was bouncing around between so many different sites that my seniority for vacation basically went down to the very beginning as if someone just started at a new job. And so I was only able to have like about 2 to 3 weeks of vacation time and for me, I didn't think that was fair for somebody who's been a senior nurse for so long to only have that much vacation. Plus, with the stresses of that job, I just didn't think it was fair. So now I'm able to have, like I said, the flexibility of going on longer extended vacations and doing multiple vacations throughout the year.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's crazy how many hours
Yeah.
we're working. And I guess
Oh, yeah.
that was what encouraged you to start this business, right? Was just setting your own schedule and maybe working less hours.
Well, well, yeah, that and besides the work stress, I actually, with, with what you do is like in your background with like health stuff. I mean, everyone in healthcare always knows that stress will bring on a lot of things into your life. And I ended up actually developing a neuromuscular disorder. It's a rare condition called torticollis. And so that happened 6 years ago around the whole time I was like getting burned out and the stresses. It actually left me debilitated. Like I couldn't feed myself. I couldn't dress myself. I had to lie down all the time. I had to have my mom feed me and dress me. And that was when I was 33. And so I thought at that point, that was my life. Like I thought I was not going to be able to do anything. But even at that point too, I realized like I can't live like that. I can't live a life of working so much like nurses make great money, but as you know, in Vancouver, cost of living is expensive. And so, with me still paying off like my line of credits and my student loans and all that, I was still living paycheck to paycheck and barely having enough just to use as pleasure, be able to go out to movies or go out for dinners and so on. And so it's just, yeah, I think all of those stresses just built up to that. So that was one of the other major reasons why I decided that I needed to find something different because continuing on that path, I knew I wasn't going anywhere. I was just going to end up, piling in debt and not being able to achieve that sort of that time and financial freedom.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm glad you're doing better now.
Oh yeah, yeah, way better. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So what would you say is your favorite thing about this business?
My favorite thing is that there's no cap of being able to make the money that you want to make. I mean, working for a union, you're always capped. Like you're capped at what percentage you can make extra for every year, and so on. And for me, when I compare like other nurses that work in different units compared to what I worked as an oncology clinical trials nurse, we did a lot of work. And so when you see other nurses that are half-assing it or not doing as much work as you are, and they're getting paid more than you, or they're getting paid just the same as you, for me that wasn't right, because I think people should get paid for how hard they work and the effort that they put into it. And so I find with this business, and it reflects with this business, and with any business, no matter how much time you put into it, that's what you're going to get out of it too. So that's what I love, and the beauty of being able to do this is that there is no cap. And the money for me, the money isn't anything. The money for me, the reason why I want to make this money is so that I can help other people. I want to help my family. I want to help my friends. I want to help those that have that problem of being able to get ahead financially. I want to donate to those charities that I wish in a way I was only able to donate $15, $20. I want to be able to donate $1,000, $10,000 to them. That's what I want to be able to achieve. Like that's what I know this business is going to allow me to do.
Mhm.
And so that's one of the biggest things I love about this business.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what would you tell someone who is looking for a change in their lives and who is maybe entertaining the idea of transitioning to working in the online space?
Well, so with 2020, have already experienced, most of us have already experienced how to work from home. That's a given. Most people had to do that with their jobs. And so I always tell people that's already sort of like you've already created that baseline of being able to know how to work from home. And you've already started to kind of know but the benefits of being able to work from home. I mean, you don't have your managers coming around and checking, see how you're doing. You don't have to work with the colleagues that you don't mind, but they get a bit annoying, sort of thing. So like, I find like you're sort of in that comfort of your own home, being able to do that. And plus, regardless of how long you've worked for a company, I've heard people who work for companies for 20 plus years, and are getting handed out severance packages within like not even a week, like very little notice. And I feel bad for some of these people who just recently just bought I heard a couple people who just bought a home and then got laid off because of this the whole pandemic. And so I find the ones that are sitting here on the fence or not sure or thinking about it, stop thinking about it and do something about it, because you need to find other ways to bring in other streams of revenue. You can't just rely on your day job and hoping that that's your job security for life, because we all have heard other people have lost their jobs. And you I say like the online space is still fairly new, and that there's so much opportunity to earn and create businesses, earn revenue on there, that it's not too late to be able to do that. And you'll do yourself a service of being able to start a side gig. And it can be done like when I started a business, I was still working full time and I was doing it on the side. So people have to realize that you don't have to start up and put 2 feet right into it. You can start with 1 foot, and then while you're still working a job full time, and get ahead. And then as slowly as your business gets more successful, then you can slowly transition and start working maybe part-time in your regular job, and then doing the other business full-time, and so on. But yeah, my suggestion for people who are looking to it is look into it, do your due diligence, and make sure, because there are a lot of things online that people are offering people, but there are scams out there. So always make sure that you do your due diligence, ask all the right questions, and go with your gut. But definitely look for other streams of revenue, because that's your only real sort of financial security nowadays.
Yeah, 100% agree. Thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time,
Oh,
and
you're welcome.
enjoy the
Yeah.
sunshine.
Oh, I will, no problem. And thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure.